How a queen gave birth to a baby horse. It is a story of ancient times. In a distant land, there lived a king and a queen. Both loved each other deeply. Both were together for many years, but they did not have any children. This became a source of worry and shame for the king. He sought treatment from many people and healers, but to no avail. Time passed. One day, the queen was resting in her room. At that moment, some maids started talking among themselves while working. One said, "Our king and queen are so much in love, but it's a pity that they don't have any children yet." The other said, "That's true, but I've heard that there's a pundit living in the forest who fulfills people's wishes. Maybe the queen should meet him." Saying this, the two maids left. The queen, who was pretending to be asleep, heard everything. That night, she decided to go quietly to the pundit. The next morning, when everyone in the palace was busy with their own work, the queen went alone to the forest. After going far, she saw a small hut. The queen walked slowly towards it. There, a man was busy with his business. The queen called him and told him her story, but the pundit was amazed by her beauty and his intention was ruined. He said, "Your wish can come true. I pray for a son to be born to you, but for that you will have to give me one night." The queen was shocked to hear this. Her face turned pale. She said angrily, "If you are not a pundit, then you are a liar who wants to take advantage of the helplessness of others." Hearing this, the pundit gets angry and says, "Oh girl, you will have a son, but not from a king, but from a horse." He made the pundit's words known to them. The queen walked towards the palace. As they walked towards the palace, night fell and the queen went to her room to rest. After some time, the king also came to the room to rest and both of them fell asleep. The queen was in a deep sleep when she heard the sound of a horse neighing. She immediately woke up and saw that there was a white royal horse in front of her. She was frightened. Then the sound came. How did the queen turn into this horse? The queen's soul trembled. I thought that maybe the pundit's words might not come true. It was none other than the king who had become a horse. The queen asked the king who had become a horse, "How did this happen?" "Don't worry, we will ask the ministers for a solution in the morning." The next morning, the king told the ministers about his problem, but no one could tell him a solution. Now every day the king would turn into a horse at night and would recover in the morning. This continued for a few months and one day the queen was about to become a mother. There was an atmosphere of joy in the palace and the king was very happy that he would now have children, but this happiness did not last long. One day, the queen had a severe pain. The doctor was immediately called. The doctor saw that the queen's stomach was a little too big, which was not a good thing. After healing the queen, the doctor told the king that her stomach was too big, which was a matter of concern, and he left. A few days later, the queen gave birth to a child with a horse's head, which everyone was surprised to see, but the king had understood everything. The king and the queen started raising their son with love. Over time, the people and the palace people became accustomed to him, and later it became common knowledge that his head was like a horse. A few years later, when the king's son became young, the king had his picture taken and sent his picture to all the nearby palaces for marriage so that a girl would be ready to marry him. But no girl agreed to marry him after seeing his picture and everyone made fun of him saying that I should marry the king whose head is like a horse. If we marry him, our children will also be like horses. Everyone made fun of him a lot. When the king's son found out about this, he became very sad, but his close friends kept telling him not to worry. Hearing this, the king made an announcement everywhere that any girl, rich or poor, who would marry my son would be given a lot of gold and diamonds as a reward. All the girls came to know this, but still no girl agreed to marry him. When everyone had given up hope of the king's son's marriage, a poor but beautiful girl came in old and torn clothes and told the king in front of everyone that she was ready to get married. Everyone was happy to hear this, especially the king's son. The girl had 3 sisters. When they found out that she had agreed to marry the horse-headed king, they started beating her. Her 3 sisters beat her every day and told her not to get married, but she remained steadfast in her word. When the wedding day approached, she was given a lot of jewelry and expensive clothes. Then, an announcement was made throughout the kingdom that the wedding of the Raja's son would take place in 3 days, in which various competitions would be held and prizes would be distributed. Rajkumar used to visit her every day and they used to spend a lot of time together. While the wedding ceremonies were going on, a young man came on a horse in a very beautiful manner. Seeing this, the girl's sisters said that they wished their sister would marry him and said to their sister, "You are doing all this to become a queen." Seeing this, the girl's intention changed. The girl said, "I will marry this handsome young man." Then she ran away from there and went to a place and started crying. Then a crow came there and started hitting her with its feather and said, "Why did you lie to your sisters? You are a liar. You have broken my spell. And if you want to find me again, you will have to wear iron shoes and go to the crow's palace. You will have to wait there until I get a chance to grow my wings. Only then will I be yours and you will never see me again." Then the crow flew away, but the girl could not understand who that crow was. What had happened to her? The girl ran away from there and reached the forest. There she saw a hut where a pundit was sitting. Seeing the girl, everyone understood and said, "I know what is in your heart. The crow that came to you is none other than the horse-headed king. I had cursed his mother that her son would be born of a horse and if anyone told a lie about him, he would become a crow. But I had also told the king the way to be right." Hearing this, the girl understood everything and decided that she would bring the king back. First of all, the girl went back and made iron shoes as the crow had said. Then she set out towards the crow's palace. She walked all day long. She went through a lot of forest. The girl now went very far. Walking, the girl reached near a house. And she understood that this was the house. An old woman opened the door and called the girl inside. The girl went inside and told the old woman everything. The old woman said, "I have raised a turtle who is coming. He will know where the palace is." After a while, the turtle also came. The old woman asked the turtle, and he said, "I know. To get there, you have to walk for 3 days and 3 nights. There are many crows there who will not let you enter the palace. The biggest crow of them all is the king. When all the crows are busy, go to the biggest crow's room and grab its wings and don't let go. If you let go of its wings, it will get scared and fly away, then you will never be able to get it back." The girl set out on her journey again. After walking for 3 days and 3 nights, the girl's iron shoes were broken. The girl was tired, but finally she reached the crow's palace. The girl waited for the security forces to fall asleep and for her to go inside. When the crows fell asleep, the girl quickly went inside. There were small crows everywhere inside the palace, who could see her, but only the big crows could harm her. The girl quietly went to the big crow's room, where she saw that the big crow was standing by the window and looking outside. The girl quickly grabbed the big crow's wings and said, "Now you have been caught, now you are mine." The crow tried hard to free her, but when he saw that it was the same girl, he transformed into the form of a king. The other crows became courtiers and palace servants, and the rest of the place became a beautiful palace. Everything became as before, and the curse of the king turning into a horse-headed crow was also removed. The king married the girl. Please subscribe to the channel.